everyone, my name is Denise. Today I'm going to show you how to attach a zipper. I've already taken the zipper out of a pear pen that I have, and this is going to be the bottom side of the zipper, and this is the top side of the zipper. Like I said, I've already taken the zipper out. What I did was, on the top side of the zipper, where the zipper tape is, I put a white chalk line to let you know exactly how to reattach that, on the top side and on the bottom side. See where there's, I don't know if you can see that, that's the line of the chalk mark that I put on the pant. Okay, what I didn't do was, once I took the zipper off the top side, I did not take the fly of the zipper apart, so let's go ahead and do that now. I'm taking my knife, and you can get this from Harbor Freight or any store, maybe like Walmart, and get one of these knives. I use it for detaching things, but you have to be very careful with this knife, because if you go a little too fast, you're liable to damage your fabric, and you don't want to do that. So I've taken the fly apart on the top side of the zipper. I'm going to go ahead and remove the little threads on the top side of the pant. You don't want that to be in the way. But what I do often is, I take where the old thread was, I take a piece of chalk and I'll chalk that line, so that'll let you know at the end of the pant, we'll know exactly how to go back and put that in. Can you see that? It's just kind of like a half a U, down and around to the end. Okay, let's get started on the bottom side of the zipper. Here I've taken it out. So what you want to do is always, the zipper's going to be always face up. You know it's face up when you have the zipper, the head of the zipper in your hand. So let's place that. Let's place the left side back to the pant where I've chalked. I'll show you when I'm done pinning. You always want to pin it, because if you try to do it without the pins, it's going to be very difficult. I'll show you when I'm finished pinning. Like I said, I've already made my chalk mark, so you're just going to follow along where your chalk mark is and put it back exactly where you want it. It should go back in very, very smoothly. You'll be surprised. Before you know it, you'll be an expert at putting these zippers back in. I've done a lot in my days. I've been sewing for over 25 years, so believe me, I know how to put a zipper in. I'm sorry I did not attach my zipper foot to my machine before we started, so let me go ahead and change my regular foot to my zipper foot. I'm just going to grab a regular screwdriver, and I'm going to detach my regular foot, and I'm going to grab my zipper feet. You always want to put your zipper feet on when you're putting in a zipper. I guess many of you know that. Here I have my zipper foot to my machine. It's just a regular Brother machine that I have, a home machine. Bear with me, I'm trying to get it in. I'm sorry. Having a little trouble here, just be patient with me. I dropped my little screw. I'm sorry I didn't do this before. Please forgive me. Okay, finally, got my zipper put on the machine. Just go ahead and take your screwdriver and screw it all the way back in, your little screw. Now that I have that out of the way, I've already got my brown thread. I have a pair of brown pants, if you can see that. Okay, we're going to, generally you start with the bottom side first and then you're going to go to the upside. So let's just go ahead and put the fly to the bottom side of the zipper on your machine. Can you bring the camera closer? I don't know if you can see that. Okay. I'm just sewing my zipper, the downside of the part of the zipper, I'm sewing it down to the fly of the pant. Remember your chalk mark will be there, so that gives you the line to where you want to lay your zipper tape just right by the chalk mark that you've already made. Once you get to the bottom, you always want to reverse it back and forth. There should be a reverse button on every machine. Lets you know that that locks the thread in place, okay? Now you take it off. Next step, this is pretty important. You're going to make sure you don't get what I just did. Make sure you don't get the top of your waistband connected to your fly, because you're going to be doing that a little bit later. Okay, now the next step is I'm going to show you. You take the teeth and the tape of your zipper that you just attached to your fly. You're going to the other side of your pant. You're going to put it in place, and when you finish pinning it in place, it should fit your waistband that's already there. If that makes sense to you. I'm going to pin it so you can see what I'm talking about. And once I pin it, I'll try to make you see that it should fall into place where your waistband already is, okay? Hold on just a moment. I'll let you see what I'm talking about. I have a pin there to let you see. Just pretend that I've already stitched that. So once it's stitched, that waistband should fit right back in place. And as you can see, it's going to fit just very well and very nicely. So here we go. Like I told you, you always want to use pins. Pins are going to be your very best friend when you're attaching these zippers back to your pant or skirt or dress or wherever you have. I've got large pins. I've got all kinds of pins, but it seems that maybe large pins, since you guys can see that better, that's why I'm using the larger pins today. Now I'm going to go ahead, making sure that your waistband is out of the way. Let's go ahead and put that fly, reattach it, okay? And we're going to just do that now. Now I'll let you see how I finish it once I'm done. Okay, I've got my waistband out of the way, got my pins in place, and now I'm going to go ahead and attach my fly to the tape of the zipper, okay? Okay, going along like so, moving my pins out of the way. You may have to use both hands because this is an art. It takes an art to do this. I'm just holding with one hand, pulling with the other, okay? You want to try to make it as straight, the line straight as possible if you can. Sometimes it's a little difficult, I admit that. When you get down to the bottom again, you want to use your reverse button just to make sure your threads are locked, okay? Now, we're going to remove that, and I'm going to let you see what I was talking about. When I said, once you're done, your waistband should fit in there properly. Okay, let's see. Cutting my threads now. See how nicely that is? The waistband fits right with the bottom part of your pant. So to hold that, we're not going to stitch that back just yet because there's a reason. I want you to go ahead and put your pins back with the waistband and the pant should be connected. We're not going to stitch it down just yet. We're just going to hold it with pins, whatever pins you prefer. I'm preferring the longer ones so you can see. Normally I may not use the long ones, but just because I'm shooting the video, I'm using it today. Alright, that's the bottom side. So we're going to flip over. This is maybe the tricky part to you guys because when I first learned how to do these, it was always a tricky part to me because you want to make sure that the bottom side fits the top side. So go ahead, zip your zipper up all the way to the waistband, from bottom to waistband. And I want you to pull down so there's no puckers. There's no puckers at the bottom of your zipper. And that seems to be a problem to almost every seamstress. When they get down to the bottom of that zipper, they try to avoid having a pucker at the bottom of their pant. That's what we're going to try to do today. So I want you to take one hand, pull the upside of it and the bottom side of the zipper because we're going to hold that bottom side, pulling it so there won't be any puckers. Once you do that, we want to take the other side of the zipper and pin it into place, making sure there's no puckers. I'm going to flip it and let you see exactly what I'm doing. I flipped it over and the other side of the tape of the zipper, I'm going to put a pin there. Once you put a pin there, you can open up your waistband with a button or whatever, hook and eye or whatever you have to put the waistband together. I've already got my first pin, and see, there's a reason for putting the chalk mark on your fly before you've detached that zipper from your fly to get it out of there, if that makes sense to you. I'm hoping this is helping someone. So use your pins. We're going to go back, put our pins to the upside of our fly. Now that we've got that, guys, we want to go back to our machine and we're going to stitch our zipper tape down on the top side of our fly. I know these are a lot of words, but as you go on learning how to sew, you'll be familiar with the terms of these words. I'm just stitching down my zipper tape onto my fly of my pant, the upside of the fly of the pant. And I always like to do it twice, so I'm going to go back and do that once again, just to make sure it's secure, okay? Reverse it again to lock it in place, the threads. I'm removing that. We're almost finished, so just be patient. Just have a little ways to go. Now that we've done that, we're going to put that fly back under the waistband like we did the top side of the pant. This is like the bottom side of the pant, I'm sorry. This is the top side. So once again, we're not going to stitch it down just yet. We're going to use pins because I'm not done with that part of it. I put that under the waistband. You're going to use pins to secure it instead of stitching it down just yet. Okay? There. Once you've already stitched your zipper tape to your fly, I want to have you go back. I want you to pin that fly down in place, because remember we used our chalk mark and we sewed a half a U from top to bottom of the zipper. That was a reason why we did that. I'm just going to go ahead and re-chalk that, because with all the movement of my pants, it kind of rubbed off. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit more visible. See what I'm talking? It's just a half a U, top to bottom, stopping there. Okay, now guys, what I want to do now is, we're almost finished with this zipper, getting it together. Let's go ahead. I'm going to remove the zipper because we got to go back to the regular foot. I know this is a lot of changing back and forth, but it takes that to put the zipper in. So I'm going to attempt to try to do that once again, taking the zipper foot off, putting the regular foot back on. Like I said, every machine has a zipper foot usually and a regular foot that you use for different things. Hopefully I won't drop the screw this time. That's my zipper foot. I'm putting it aside. And I did drop the screw, but probably hang on. Can be a little clumsy at times. So here we go. I'm going to try to put the regular foot back on. Oh, be patient with me. I'm trying to get this screw in. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. Finally, they just don't make these screws for older people, I think. I think I've got it in, guys. Okay, got it. Now, like I said, we're almost done. You can breathe now if you've gotten that far. We're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and reattach the waistband. Shall we do that? Okay. Let's do the upside of the pant first, or the skirt, or whatever you're working with. Reattaching it. I'm going to move my pins out of the way while I'm sewing. And also I want to remind you, once you're stitching your waistband back on your pant, you want to watch out for the metal piece at the top of your zipper, because you can rest assured that you will break a needle. I've done that. So just be very careful, even if you have to walk it along your waistband, if you know what I mean. Okay. Now that I've done that, cutting my threads. Remember the chalk mark we made with a half U? We're going to stitch that down because that's the top side of your fly. And you want to always stitch it down, because if you don't, guess what? When you have your pants on, it's going to look very, very unprofessional and unfinished when you're walking around without your fly sewn down. So let's just go ahead and stitch that fly down right now. Go along the mark of your chalk, your half U, okay? Let's do that. I'm doing that now. And there's going to be a trick to this, because I don't want you to go all the way around, because there's a reason. Get down to almost at the end of your zipper, the pant zipper, and stop. Use your reverse button, go back and forth, and lock that in place. Okay? Cut your threads. And now I want you to pay attention to the downside of the under part of your zipper pant. And put your waistband back in. Remember I told you to secure it with pins? We're going to go ahead and remove the pins now, and you can stitch it back now. Watch out for the metal piece at the top of your zipper, because remember I told you if you stitch over that, you're liable to break a needle. Excuse me. Okay, pins are out of the way. Now I want you to close your pant with hook and eye or your button or whatever you have on your pant or skirt. And we're going to finish this off. I'm just a couple of minutes away from finishing this. Now I want you to go ahead, zip your pant up, and that looks so nicely, but remember we didn't finish it all. So I want you to put a pin to secure your fly, so we won't, remember I said we definitely don't want to have a bubble at the end of your pant. So we stopped here when we back stitched it. Now we're going to go ahead and finish it all the way to your seam that leads down to the crotch of your pant. Let's do that. We'll be all done. I know this was a long process, but it takes that to put a zipper back in the pant. Last step, okay? Almost there, guys. Just go back and find that stitch to where you reversed it back and forth, back stitched it. You're going to do that again just to make sure that it's in place. Carry along your U, your half a U. If you have to pick it up, put it back down, you want to make sure that it's a half a U. All the way back to this seam that leads to your crotch of your pants. Back stitch it as well as you can, because you don't want anything to come apart while you're wearing your pant, okay? Now we're going to make sure that that's secure. I'm going to let you see the finished product. If you did everything that I told you, everything should be okay, guys. And that lets you know how to put a zipper in. The first time that I remember putting one in, I was so excited that I finally learned how to put a zipper back in the pant. There we are, guys, and all you need to do is put a warm iron, press it down really nice, and that's your finished product. I hope you enjoyed my video. Stay tuned if you want to see more videos on how to do alterations. Thank you for watching.